are going to have, instead of final exam, the 30%, we are going to have 2 tests. The test 1 will be held during week 6, which is 15 marks. The date will be 28th of November, Saturday. So the time will be 2 to 3 p.m. Okay, so please write down this date here, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., 1 hour. And then the second test date will be 26 December, same time, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, so both also Saturdays, right? So please jot down this date. Of course, I'll inform you again about this date before this test going to take place. So please write down this. So in case got any other lecturers going to give you a test or some quiz or something else, or some kind of things that got activities going on, so please inform the lecturer that you have this WRX 202 2 tests on these 2 dates here and this time. Is that okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that's first thing, very important. Okay. So next, let's go on to today's lecture. Okay, let me swap the screen first. Okay, can you see my PowerPoint slide?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, good. Okay, so today, good morning to everyone. So today is our second lecture. So I start with one inspirational or motivational quotes first. So we need to focus more on the people who inspire you rather than the people who annoy you. So you will get much further in life. So when you're doing project management, so definitely you cannot please make everybody very happy with you. And then some people will not be happy with the way you manage them. Okay, so just ignore and just proceed. Okay, those who help you, inspire you, give you some good idea, so you just carry on. So you can just ignore other people. Okay, understand? Okay, next. So we are going to go into our second lecture. I combine the chapter 2 and the 3 together. The topic is organization, strategy, and project selection. So today you learn how to select projects. So because there are many projects ongoing in a company, then you must know how to prioritize. So this is where we are, the strategy, and then later we are going on to organization. Okay. Okay, now first thing first. So why project managers need to understand the strategy? So changes in the organization's mission and strategy. So project managers must respond to changes with appropriate decisions about future projects and adjustments to current projects. So every day there's something ongoing. So we need to look at the environment and then make adjustment to what is going on now. Okay. So next, the project managers who understand their organization strategy can become effective advocates of projects aligned with the firm's mission, right? So the project managers must know what is this company doing, what kind of strategy they are taking in order to achieve the company's goal, okay, and what are the mission that they need to achieve. So because of this, then we have to implement this, okay? So the projects and strategy. So the mistakes caused by not understanding the role of projects in accomplishing the strategy. So if you do not know what is this company doing, then you cannot accomplish a lot of projects which is not focused towards the company's mission. So focusing on problems or solutions with low strategic priority. So because you are not sure, you don't understand what is the role of this project you are working on. So this will cause the problem. So focusing on the immediate customer rather than the whole marketplace and the value chain. You see, usually the company will focusing on profit, the revenue. So you instead of go and looking at the profits making, then you go and looking at what the customer, whatever immediate they want. So may not bring in align with the strategic plan of the company. So overemphasizing technology rather that this will result in projects that pursue exotic technology that fit the strategy of customer needs. So you keep on looking at what kind of latest technology, very outstanding things that you want to do, and you're forgetting about what actually you need to do to fulfill the actual customer needs. So trying to solve customer issues with a product or service rather than focusing on the 20% with 80% of the value. So the 20-80%, this one is well known as Pareto law. So meaning that the Pareto law says that let's say for example you got let's say 5 pairs of shoes. So out of these 5 pairs of shoes, you only always wear 1 pair of shoes 80% of the time. So that's why this is known as 20% of input, 80% of output. Okay. So engaging in a never-ending search for perfection, only the project team really cares about. You see, so you keep on searching. Oh, this project is still, this system not very good. It's still not very good. I keep on enhancing, keep on enhancing. There's no point because there are other more important things that you need to do. Not just keep on focusing one project and make it very perfect. So you are wasting your time that you are not achieving the company strategy. Okay. So next is the strategic management process and overview. So today you're going to study this strategic management. So what is this strategic management? So this strategic management requires every project to be clearly linked to strategy, and it provides the team and focus of firm's future direction. So you must know what is this company moving towards, heading toward. So you have to do something that is responding to changes in the external environment. That is, you looking at the environmental scanning, and also you allocating scarce resources of the firm to improve its competitive position, internal responses to new programs. So usually we don't have enough resources in the company. You must know how to optimize, and this requires a strong links among mission, goals, objectives, strategy, and implementation. So you see, today's company must respond to changes. The current environment, which is COVID-19. So a lot of changes going on in all kinds of industries. So they have to know how to adapt to this new norm. Okay, so that's why this is very important, and you're applying strategic management. So in order to do that, you must link up all the mission, goals, objectives, strategy, and implementation. Otherwise, you're going to fail the projects if you do not do this. Okay. So now we have a look. Okay, what is this? How to define all these mission, goals, objectives, and strategies. So what is mission first? The mission gives the general purpose of the organization. The goals give the global targets within the mission, and objectives will give specific targets to the goals, give rise to formulation of strategies to reach the objective, and then you will implement strategies. And this will require the action and task to be implemented through the project that you're going to carry out. So now we look at the 4 activities of the strategic management process. So basically you need to follow these 4 steps here, or these 4 activities. The first activity is to review and define the organizational mission. Second one is to set long-range goals and objectives. Third one is to analyze and formulate strategies to reach the objective. And lastly, you will implement the strategies through the projects. Okay, so there are many projects, and then you will learn how to select projects. So we go through one by one. The first activity, which is review and define the organizational mission. So what is mission? So mission actually identifies what we want to become. So mission statements identify the scope of the organization in terms of its product or service. So inside your mission statement, you talk about what is the product you're going to produce or the service you're going to provide. So the mission statement communicates and identifies the purpose of the organization to all stakeholders. So whoever the stakeholder, they understand what is the mission of this organization. So the mission statement can be used for evaluating organization performance. So in the end, stakeholder can evaluate. You say you're going to achieve this, you say what you're going to become. But in the end, achieve what you define in your mission statement. So you can use to evaluate the performance of this company based on the mission statement. Okay, now, besides this term mission, there's another term I'm sure you heard is called vision. So what's the difference between the mission and vision? So the mission statement, so just how I mentioned, is what the company is going to become, you see. So it describes the overall, the purpose of the organization. So it paints a picture of what the organization currently is and will be doing for the next 1 to 3 years time. So within 1 to 3 years, what you want to become. So discuss what you do, who you do it for, and the benefit that it will provide. So the mission statement is clear. What, who, for who, and what kind of benefits. So this mission statement basically is 1 to 3 years. Okay, it's a short statement, something that all employees can easily recite and be proud to wear and can print it on a t-shirt. So you know within 1 to 3 years what you aim to achieve. So what about vision? So this is where the company or the organization hopes they will be going in the future if they can fulfill their mission. So they have the 3 years plan and then carry on all this. And then in the long term of every 3 years plan, and then what in the end you want to achieve the vision statement. So vision provides guidance and inspiration. So this is a forward thinking statement that should be fulfilled in the 5 to 10 year time frame. You see, this is long term. Vision statement is long term. Mission statement is 1 to 3 years. Okay, so this is the source where I got this, explaining the difference between the term vision and mission. Now, one example about this mission and vision statements of Walt Disney Company. So this one, they combine both inside the statement. So the statement of this mission and vision of this Walt Disney Company is to be one of the world's leading producers and providers of entertainment and information, using our portfolio of brands to differentiate our content, services, and consumer products. We seek to develop the most creative, innovative, and profitable entertainment experiences and related products in the world. You see, so that means you can see this how this Walt Disney Company, they expanded from the Disney studio that I'm sure many of you have watched all these cartoon, Mickey Mouse, Minnie, and so on, the Donald Duck, and so on, all the different characters of this cartoon. And then they have expanded and they built this Disneyland. So at first they have this Disneyland in US, then later they expanded, you see, because they provide products in the world. So they expanded, they have Disneyland in Paris, they also have Disneyland in Japan, Tokyo Disneyland, and they have also Disneyland in Hong Kong, right? So you know they're expanding, right? So this is what the mission and vision, see? So they incorporated both in this statement here. Okay, so now the second, okay, which I want to ask you, what is the vision of Malaysia? Anyone know? Anyone knows the answer? The vision of Malaysia is what? Can you hear me? Nobody knows the answer? No one knows the answer? Anybody want to give a try? Do you know the answer? No.
Is it the Wawasan thing?
Yes, that's right. So the Vision 2020, Wawasan Dua Flow is our vision statement. So I extracted this. Take a note. So this one, what is Vision 2020? Remember, this one was launched by our former Prime Minister, Tun Dr. Mahathir, in 1990. So it was announced as the new economic policy, in short form is NEP. So he made some kind of statement. So you read this. So I enlarged this part here for your reference or your knowledge. So this Vision 2020 was developed to be a long-term, you see, because vision, right? A long-term goal for the nation. So this is the goal of Malaysia becoming so the vision of this is what? A fully developed country by the year 2020. We are now 2020, right? So generally, the vision is referred as 2020. So you know this vision, you see, vision means the eyesight, okay? Which according to Mahathir is connected to having a perfect vision of 20/20. So that means it's perfect, it's very clear. So when asked by these reporters about this vision 2020, our Prime Minister, he say what, he say, I will not be around to be blamed should we fail to meet the goals. So have we met the goals? Are we now the developed country?
No.
Yes or no?
Technically speaking, in some aspects, yes. In some aspects, no.
Yes. To define, is it a fully developed country? Fully developed?
Not fully yet.
Yeah. So it's not fully, meaning that what? So this vision is not achieved, right? So you see, he afraid that this might not be able to achieve. That's why he quickly made a statement, say, don't blame me if this thing is not achieved. Okay, so you can see he's very smart. So make a statement first. If when we're reaching 2020, the statement is not achieved. Okay, now the first question. So what are the vision and mission statement of University of Malaya? Do you know? Do you know what is the vision statement and the mission statement of UM? Anyone?
I'm just reading it off the website.
Yeah.
To be
So
an
go and search on
internationally
the website.
renowned institution
What is
of
the
higher learning in research, innovation, publication, and teaching.
Yes. Okay, to be an internationally renowned institution of higher learning in research, innovation, publication, and teaching. See, that's our core business, right? So what is our mission statement? What is the mission statement of UM?
To advance knowledge and learning through quality research and education for the nation and for humanity.
Ah, yes. Okay, good. So you found the correct website. Okay,
Yeah.
what about this one? What are the vision and mission statement of our faculty? Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology. So you can see just now the vision, mission, you see, is for the whole university. So what about our faculty? Just our faculty alone, what do you think? The vision and mission statement.
A globally influential faculty enriching lives and shaping the future through computing technology.
Yes, correct. That's why when you talk about vision, so this one is you must relate to our technology about computing. See, because this is focusing more our own discipline. Okay, so what about the mission statement?
To enrich lives and shape the future for the nation and humanity through education, research, and technopreneurship.
Yes. So you can start to understand now. So from the overall, that is the whole organization's vision mission. Then you narrow down to each of these the faculties center or academy. They have their own vision and mission. So what each of these doing will be achieving. They all must target towards achieving the university's vision and mission. You understand? Okay. So now at least you have a clearer idea how to define and what they are doing about what is vision mission, and then you can measure, is it that our mission we have achieved our mission or not by our faculty. You see, have we achieved this, enrich lives and shape the future for the nation and humanity through education, research, and technopreneurship? Yes or no? Do you think we have achieved this?
Yes.
Yes, because we produce a lot of graduates. They have started their own business. Okay, they have their own IT companies developing software. They have software houses and so on. So this is where we produce. We provide education. We also have carried out a lot of research, right? And then the COVID-19. If you read about Dr. Chu and Dr. Liu and some a few lecturers, then with a group of students, they produce a system where they can go and self detect the COVID-19. Right, so whether you have got impacted by this. So these are all the research, education, and then the technopreneurship. So we have achieved the mission statement. Okay, next we move on. Okay, so the second activity, so is to set the long range goals and objectives. So objectives translate the organization mission into specific, concrete, measurable terms. So objective answer in detail where a firm is headed and when it is going to get there. So just now that one is what. Okay, so here this one objective very clear where and when you want to reach. So objective should be operational, should include a time frame. You must have a time so that you can measure by this time have you achieved. It's just like see vision 2020 by the year 2020, then you can measure it. So be measurable, be an identifiable state, and be realistic. So that means something that is you can achieve, not create something, a statement that you can never achieve, even given a specific time. So this Joran give this term called SMART. So when you define objective statements, you must have all these characteristics here. So S stands for specific. So that means your objective statement must be specific in targeting something. So M, measurable. Establish a measurable indicators of progress. So you can know, are you progressing, that you can measure. So A, assignable. You make the objective assignable to one person for completion. So you define this objective and the person knows how to carry out and what to complete, what to finish the task. So R, realistic. You state what can realistically be done with available resources. You see, something that with what the resources you have, then you can carry out and complete it successfully. Not something that with resources given, but you still cannot achieve, then the statement is not realistic. So T for time related. So state when the objective can be achieved. That is the duration. How long it's going to take for you to achieve that particular objective statement. Oh, okay. Question number 3. So what are the objectives of Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology? Do you know the objective of our faculty? Anyone wants to try?
Hi, Doctor. The
Yes.
objective of FSKTM is to sustain an outstanding faculty dedicated to excellence in undergraduate and postgraduate. Teaching, learning, and research is the first one. Second is to contribute toward the development of the nation through the production, quality research, and publications. Third, to provide innovative academic programs that can respond to the changing needs of the society. And the last one is to produce quality graduates who are equipped with advanced knowledge and skills of computer science and information technology.
Yes,
It's from
good.
Google.
Yeah, okay. Basically, we have 4 objective statements, okay? So you're right, okay? So these are the 4 that you mentioned just now, okay? So you can see we're still focusing, you see? We're still looking at teaching, learning, research, and then we have quality research and publications. So you see, all the objective statement must be aligned with what we state in our vision and mission statements. You understand? So you can see it must be aligned within the discipline itself, and then each faculty, center, or academy must moving towards achieving the UM's vision and mission. Okay, so now you understand how to define vision, mission, and then objective statements for an organization. Okay, next we move on to activity number 3. So after that, you have to analyze and formulate strategies to reach these objective statements. So formulating strategies answer the question of what needs to be done to reach these objectives. So the strategic formulation includes determining and evaluating alternatives that supports the organization's objective. There are many ways of doing it. So what are the different ways that it can be done? So the first step to do this, okay, realistic evaluation of the past and current position of the enterprise. So you look at yourself, your own company, what have you done in the past and what is your current position now? So includes analysis of who are the customers and what are their needs. So you review this. So that's why you have to know what is happening. So it's just like COVID-19, we are having this, you see, you analyze the current situation. The teaching of last time is we are in the physical environment that we can have face-to-face. Now we cannot. So what must we do now? And how we can accommodate the customer's needs in this kind of environment. So you always have to evaluate this kind of situation. So on the past and the current situation, how to address all the issues and the problems that we are facing now. So second step, assessment of the internal and external environment. See what is happening within the university itself and what is happening outside. So any competition. So last time is public university. All the public university, they are very good. So everyone was fighting to go into the public universities. But today it's not. So we are very competitive. We are competing with the private universities. So many students, many of them, they'll choose to go to private universities, and then they have the training program with the overseas institutions. They prefer to go to private institution rather than the public university today. And the private institutes also, they offer a lot of scholarship. So that's why we are losing a lot of good students. They go and join because they get scholarship from this private university. So we become very competitive today to the public university instead of the olden days where we feel so complacent with everything. We say, oh, we will sure get all the good students, but today is no more that kind of environment. Okay, so we have to analyze the internal and the external environments that happen to the education industry. So next, let's continue with the activity number 3. So the internal strengths or weaknesses, that is, you look at your product quality, your management talent, your low debt, and the dealer network. So that's your internal. Within your company, you see, you produce good quality product or you produce good quality services, And then you have management talent. You've got good leadership. You see, good VC. You see, low debt. The company don't owe outside people a lot of money. Okay, and then you got the dealers network. So people, supplier, anything, you know, you got a lot of networking. So you can sell your product easily and then go and deal with people. Okay. So next, the opportunity and the threats usually represent external forces.
Doctor, you'll be muted.
Doctor, you are mute.
Doctor, you're muted. Doctor, you're muted.
Okay.
Doctor?
Yeah. Is that okay now? Is that okay now?
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. I don't know why sometimes it's mute by itself. Okay. So just tell me, okay? When there's no sound from me, just tell me, okay? Okay, let's continue. Okay, so now you have to analyze the opportunities and the threats that are around us. So how to do that? Okay, so the assessment of the external and these internal environments to analyze this is called the term SWOT analysis. So it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay, so now this one you can see in on this day, the August 21st, 2017, there was a solar eclipse. So people will take this opportunity. You know, the eclipse don't happen every day, you know, or every month. It's very rare. It may happen, you know, 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years later. So people take this a very rare opportunity, and then they organize. Okay, they try to organize a flight to go and see this, you know, catching a solar eclipse in the plane. You see, so this one in this Alaska here, and this involved a big project, involved a lot of people. You know, the pilots, you know, they must understand how far to go near that place to capture all this the scenery of this eclipse here. You know, so only this one trip only, so very rare, and this one people take it as opportunity to make money by having one flight just to see the solar eclipse. So involves it's quite a big project because it's not simply a normal flight like that. So a lot of arrangement need to be made, you see, to how far, and then when is the time, and then how near, you know, so that, and then your eyesight, you know, must wear what kind, you know, the glasses and so on. People will take a lot of binoculars there and up there and have a good look and the clearest look you can have at this solar eclipse. So this is an opportunity very rare. So people will grab this opportunity. Okay, so those got the mind there. Okay, this how to make business of this rare opportunity. So next, the question here. So yesterday when I checked email, I received a message. Okay, and this message inside is talking about introducing some kind of their product. And one of the statement they say is, thanks to the COVID-19 crisis. You see, this one to people, this COVID-19 is actually a crisis, is some kind of threat to us. But to this company here, they say, oh, they were so happy to have this COVID-19 crisis because they surpassed ourselves and come up with an innovation and contributed to the society. So they produce something. They have a research. You see, this is a company, Jakcha Industry Thailand, okay, PCL, partnering with the researcher from the Chulalongkorn University. They developed and launched a new COVID-19 innovation, Tiger Plus. This is the Mask Shield, okay, Mask Shield Plus, protecting spray that enhances filtration for fabric face mask. See, this is a type of fabric face mask that protect people from getting this COVID-19. So to them say, oh, this is what? So this one is not, to them, this is not a threat. This is opportunities. But the COVID-19 itself is a threat. So in fact, a lot of industry that they come to a stop. You see, like tourism, people they cannot go to travel. The food industry, you know, the restaurant, people cannot go out to eat. And then the flight all stopped. Okay, and then we cannot have sports and so on. So this become a threat to certain industries here. But it become an opportunity to some other type of industry, which is like, for example, you know, to prevent this kind of getting COVID, got this protective, the face shield, the face mask, and then some people come out with a diamond accessory on the mask itself, and then they also come out the fabric, you know, the normal one is a surgical mask, and people with the creativity come out all kind of products, and the glove, which is very important, and so on. And hospital, private one, they get a lot of businesses, and people got infected. So a threat to somebody, it can be an opportunity to another party. So not necessarily some people see something is the threat is something bad, but instead they bring in a lot of revenue. So if you know the company, the top growth into the revenue, they shoot up. You know how many times is more than 100 times of their profit now because they're selling the growth worldwide. Okay, so you can see the COVID-19 to some companies is really something good to them. So next, another question. So do you think water pollution is a threat or is an opportunity? So recently we have water disruption because of water pollution a few times in the Selangor and the KL district here. So what do you think? Is it a pollution? Is this a opportunity or a threat? Anyone?
Threat.
It's a threat. So got any opportunity there or not?
No.
No opportunity. Okay, let's see. When there's a water pollution, what happens? So there's no water supply, right? So when there's no water supply, the ice Selangor always tell people, say, please store some water. So people who stay in the high-rise building, of course, it's very difficult, right, to store water. So have to, if you have to come down, how many floors with the lift, and then you carry the water. So people have to buy what? A lot of pails and try to store as much water as they can. So what is the opportunity is to the company that's selling all these pails, right? The containers. At one time, I think the previous one, that about 4 days, 3 to 4 days, and all these containers were sold out. The company that producing in this industry, selling all these containers, they're making a lot of profit, and the price I heard double or even 3 times. See, because the great demand. You understand? So that's why one threat to one industry to all the people, it can be an opportunity to an industry that which is related to this problem that we face. You understand? So a threat not necessarily is the threat to all. It can be an opportunity to others. Okay, so you understand now? So how to analyze the opportunities and threats that is happening around us? So next, we look at the step number 4. Implement strategies to projects. So once you have all the 3 steps, now you're going to implement, that.
Doctor, you're muted again.
Doctor, we can't hear you.
Muting. Why keep on muting? Is it somebody mute me? Oh dear. Okay. But just keep on reminding me because I do not know. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's continue. So now, okay, the activity number 4 now is to implement the strategies through the projects. So implementation answers the question of how the strategies will be realized given available resources. So you need resources to help you to go and implement what you plan to do to achieve the objective statements. So implementation requires action and completing the task. You're going to carry out something, and completing the task requires the allocation of resources. So what are resources? Okay, resources represent funds, the money, the capital, the people, management talents, the leadership, technological skills, and then that you got good programmers, system analysts, got engineers, and then the equipment you require to carry out your project. So multiple objectives place conflicting demands on organizational resources. So because there are many projects, so there are many different objectives. So every objective that you want to carry out, you want to achieve through projects. So you got so many projects and you need all kinds of resources. There may be some kind of fighting for the same resources. So that will conflicting demands. I want this, you also need this. Everybody, I want this equipment, you also need the equipment at the same time. So who is going to get the equipment or who is going to use the resources first? So this becomes a conflicting demand. Okay. So now this one is the one that all the steps mentioned, and it's presented in the form of this diagram. Okay, so you can see these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 activities here, and this is known as the strategic management process. So you can the first part that I mentioned just now, ask what are we now? So you analyze, you see, your internal, external, your environment, your SWOT analysis. Then next, what do we intend to be? So then you formulate, you set the strategy objective, and then you start to have a set of portfolio of strategic choices. And after that, how are we going to get there? Is how is the implementation? Then you start the strategy implementation is through the project selection, and then the list of project you're going to carry out. So this diagram summarizes all the 4 activities that I explained just now. So next, the project portfolio management, the need for a strong project priority system, you see. So now you want to do this, but there are so many projects carried out in a company, but which one should be prioritized first? Which one should be implemented first? So first thing first, okay, so the implementation gap. The lack of understanding and consensus on strategy among top management and middle level. Middle level also refers to the functional managers who independently implement the strategy. So you see, the highest level will define all the vision, mission, objective statements, what they aims to achieve. And then who is going to carry out is the functional, okay? The person who carry out the function is going to execute the thing. But sometimes there's a gap between these two. You see, what they aim to achieve, but they come to functional part, actually cannot be, they do not know the problems they encounter in the functional part, the implementation part. So for example, you know, in UM, there was some kind of good intention. Somebody from the top management mentioned that, you know, the student, based on your CGPA, they'll classify which are the students below 1 point, they will classify under, it's called under observation, right? So there was one idea came from the top management, somebody sitting in the top management recommended that a student who are under observation must be sitting, you know, when we are not at this current environment. So in the classroom setting, that must reserve the first 2 rows of the seats for the students under observation to sit in front, and others who are not under observation, you sit after the 2nd row. So then the top management say, ask all of us to implement this, and then I was received this kind of message, you know, from office say that, oh, there's a student in your class, he is under observation, make sure you ask him to sit, you know, in the first 2 rows. So when I enter my class and I ask anyone under observation, so everyone just keep silent. No one will say that he or she is under observation. So but office will send the name to me. So the person didn't want to say, because why? It's very embarrassing. So if you're under observation, you put us to sit in front the first 2 rows, people can identify that you are under observation. So no one want to sit in the first 2 rows. So that's why top management with the good intention say, you know, pay a special attention to those people who are the students who are weak in their study. But then this is embarrassing them, because they become like, the isolated from the other friends. So if there's only one student, and it happened to be one student in my class, and that student feel that so embarrassing to sit alone in front, the first 2 rows only, he can only allowed to sit. So when I asked him, I say, you're under observation. He didn't want to say that he is under observation. When I asked him, I said, your name was given to me. Then he have to admit that he is under observation. But he didn't want to sit alone in front, and the rest all sitting behind. So I say, you don't have to sit in front. You go back and sit with your friends. So you can see, they want to implement something, but when it comes to functional part, when people who are going to execute the thing, it is not functionable. So we cannot do this function at all, because they do not see there are some problems that are going to happen to the whatever the situation, because they are not going to implement this. They are not the people implementing this. We are the one who execute, and the one who just set the idea. You see, doesn't know that there are some kind of problem going to be encountered. So this is called the implementation gap. Okay, top management see something but cannot be implemented. They do not understand the environment. Okay, so next is about organization politics. So this is very common in everywhere. Okay, any organization, there's always politics. So the project selection is based on the persuasiveness and power of people advocating the project. There are many projects, you see, they're proposed by the different manager or different departments. So which one will be selected? The manager who is very persuasive. You can talk very well and then persuade the top management to choose your project. And sometimes there'll be politics. You see, some people who is influencing, they've got some power, they can do something and then make their project selected instead of other project which is more important. Okay, so that is called the organization politics. So resource conflicts and multitasking. So here you can see this multi-tasking environment. See, the multi-project environment creates interdependency relationship of shared resources, which results in the starting, stopping, and restarting projects. So in the company, there are sometimes the one particular resource, let's say one engineer, he is needed in this project A, and he is also needed in project B. So the person have to handle both projects, but cannot go and do it at the same time. So when the project A is ongoing, then this engineer cannot go and do the project B. So when the project B needs him, then he say he has to stop working for project A and then go. That means you stop. You see, you stop project A and then go to do project B. After you finish project B and come back again, you're restarting the project. So this one will cause the delay, project delay. And this situation is very common and it's happening. So one of the situations that one of my master students that encounter, this student was doing the research, the master's research under my supervision. Then suddenly the company say, I want to send you to US to work for 1 year. There's a project there. So he was sent to US for 1 year. And then he has to stop working on the master project. So after he came back from US, he told me, I've forgotten everything because he stopped working. You see, he started the project, he stopped the project, he was sent to US. 1 year came back, he forgotten everything, have to restart the thing. You understand? So this is called the resource conflicts and multitasking problem. Okay, next. So next, the benefits of project portfolio management. So if we have this project portfolio management, then what are the good things, advantages we will have? So we can build discipline into the project selection process. That means how each one of us in the organization will know there are so many projects, why this project is being selected, why their project is put in a lower priority. So there's a way of doing things, and everyone knows how the process of the selection process is open to everyone's knowledge. So it links project selection to strategic metrics. There's a measurement. So later you're going to learn how to select projects. Prioritizes project proposals across a common set of criteria rather than on politics or emotion. You see, it's not because of influential, somebody very influential, very persuasive, and then got selected. And then this one is having a project portfolio management is you follow a certain criteria, and based on criteria, your project proposed being selected, and not simply because somebody is influential or somebody can talk very well and go and take over your place. So allocate resources to projects that align with strategic direction, because we don't have enough resources. Then you make use optimize resources to the project that align with the company's strategic direction. So balances risk across all projects. Every project got a risk. You see, there's a risk of failure. So you must see which one. Usually the high risk, the project that got likelihood of fail is very high, then you don't go and implement that kind of high risk project. So justify killing projects that do not support strategy. If you think doing this project doesn't bring any good things or any benefit or revenue to the company, then you just kill it. You just abandon the project. Don't do it. So it improves communication and supports agreement on project goals. You see, so you tell each other that everyone understand, different project managers understand why your project is selected, why my one is not selected. Then you understand each other, what is the main purpose, why your one selected. Is always supporting the company's strategic plan. Okay. So next, so a portfolio of management system. So first you want to execute this, to do this, you design of a project portfolio system according to all these steps here. So first thing you have to do classification. First, you classify the different type of projects. Next, you perform selection criteria depending upon the classification. Next, you must know where are this project proposal come from, the sources of proposals. Next, after getting this proposal, you must go and evaluate the proposals. And after that, managing the portfolio of projects. Okay, so now we go through one by one. The first one first, classification of the projects. So here you can have the portfolio of project by type. How you classify the project? You can classify projects according to compliance projects, meaning compliance, the word compliance means must do. You must do it. Okay. Second type, operational projects, and the third type is strategic projects. So what are these three types of projects? Okay, so first type, compliance projects. This means those needed to meet regulatory conditions required to operate in a region. So usually have penalties if they are not implemented. That means government will impose some rules. You must do this project. If you don't do, you will be fined. You'll be punished. Okay. So example of this compliance project, rebuilding a soybean factory destroyed by fire. You see, so the factory is destroyed by fire. So how to produce soybean again? So you have to rebuild this. So this is called a compliance project. You have to rebuild the factory. So another example, if you still remember, government implemented GST. So we got the 6% GST. So all the companies, those got certain up to certain amount of revenue in per year, they have to impose this GST. So remember, after the government started this, and all the system must build in with the GST function. So now GST is no more, you see, so remove. So during that time, if you don't implement, there'll be penalties. Government will come and fine the companies, you see. So you have to do, this is known as compliance project. So the second part is called operational projects. So those needed to support the current operation. So what is your current business? Then you're doing something, a project that's supporting the current operations of the business. So designed to improve efficiency of delivery system can be, it helps to improve how you deliver your product to customer faster, reduce product cost and how you cut down the production cost, and you improve the performance, better quality and so on. So example of this kind of project will be TQM projects. So TQM stands for, it's a Japanese idea of total quality management project. So you can look up this TQM about what are the components about TQM, maybe customer focus, you've got process continuous improvement and so on. So these are known as TQM projects. Okay, so the third type, which is known as strategic projects. So this type of projects, those directly support the organization's long-run mission. You see, you are trying to achieve the longer-term mission. So frequently directed towards increasing revenue or market share. That means if you implement this kind of project, in the long term, you get back a lot of very high revenue, a lot of profit. So example, an invention of new product, research and development, any R&D, in the long term will bring you very high revenue. So this kind of project is known as strategic projects. Okay, now question 4. Okay, how would you classify the following projects? Compliance, operational, or strategic? Okay, first one. So this one is building a new power generation plant. What kind of project? Compliance, operational, or strategic? Anyone?
Strategy.
Strategic. Any other answer?
Compliant.
Compliant. Any more? No one choose operational?
Compliance.
Okay. Only compliant and strategic. You look at what company is this?
Tenaga Nasional.
Yes, TNB, Tenaga Nasional Malaysia. Okay, Tenaga Nasional Berhad. Okay, so the point here is called building a new power generation plant. This one means what? TNB is providing what kind of service or what kind of product?
Electrical power.
Electrical.
Yes. Yeah, electricity, right? So our home is all the electricity come from TNB, right? So now they are building one extra one. This one here. Okay. So this pylon here. Okay. So what is this? Is it compliance? Is it must? If you don't build, then government will have a punish them. Is there any
No.
penalty?
No.
So is it compliant now?
No.
No.
So it's not compliant.
No.
You have to decide. Is it operational or is it strategic?
Strategy.
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 Strategic. Remember the strategic is in the is some kind of R&D. Yes, the answer is operational because this one building another one to generate the power that is providing, that means supporting the current business environment. So it should be operational. You understand now? You know how to differentiate? Okay, second one. Okay, so this is an incident that happened on fire because some boys, created some problem, and then this religious school was on fire. Okay, that happened in 2017. So what kind of project is this? So the police have to investigate. You see what's happening now. Okay, so what kind of project is this? Compliance. Yes, it's very obvious. They have to investigate because there's somebody. Yes, so this is known as compliance project. Must is a must. If not, it's a penalty. There, see. Okay. So this one, what about this? This one is an incident that happened in Korea. Called the Seaway Ferry disaster. A very sad disaster that happened in 2014, April 16. And many secondary school students were killed in this incident. So what kind of project is it? Compliance to rescue during that time when the incident happened. Okay. So is it compliance? Yes, compliance. Yeah, if not, many people will be killed, right? So when the start to sinking that time, there will this rescue must go on, must immediately go and rescue them. So it's a compliance project. If not, the penalty is many people will be killed. In fact, many people, 304 people killed in this incident here. Okay. So next, okay. Now this time, this one is called power transmission R&D. So what kind of project?
Strategic.
Yes. So you see the keyword is R&D. So that means it bring in something. You see, it improve transmission line reliability. You see that some kind in long term it bring you a very high revenue, some kind of improvement. So this kind of project will be you fit into the definition of strategic project. Okay. Next one. Okay. This one is launching of new Mitsubishi car models. What kind of project?
Operational.
Strategy.
Operational.
Operational. Because Mitsubishi car, Mitsubishi is selling, right? So they are launching, they are selling new cars. So it should be operational. Strategic must be some kind of new invention. You understand? Okay, next one. Let's see. What did this one? What kind of project?
Strategy.
Strategy.
Yeah, that's right. Your answer is correct this time. Okay, so now you know how to differentiate now. Okay, what about this one? When the incident happens,
Compliance.
they have to try to
Compliance.
yes, compliance project. But today they stop the search and rescue. Of course, cannot rescue. We do not know where is it now, right? Okay. So now you understand how to differentiate. First, you have to identify the type of project they are doing. Is it considered compliance? Strategic. So within this, then you go on to select. Okay, how to select this project? How to prioritize them? So there are a few types of selection criteria. So one type is called the financial models. And within the financial models, there are two techniques you can apply. The one is called payback. Second one is net present value. So in short form is NP. And then another type is called non-functional models. So that means the projects of strategic importance to the firm, it is not based on kind of a calculation of financial aspect, but asking certain question whether you meet that kind of criteria to select this kind of non-functional selection process. Okay, so we'll go to this one by one, and another type is called multi-weighted scoring models. So you use several weighted selection criteria to evaluate the project proposals. So we look at the first one first, the financial models. So which is called the payback model. So payback model measures the time it will take to recover the project investment. So for example, you invested 10,000. How much time to get back the 10,000? So shorter paybacks are more desirable. So if project A you invested 10,000, project B invested 10,000. If project A you can get back the 10,000 in 3 years, project B you get back in 7 years, then you will choose the project A, which is the shorter time. So that is the preferred one. So emphasizes the cash flow, the money that you get back, a key factor in business. So this is called the payback model. The faster you get back the investment amount, that you will choose that project. Okay. So what are the limitations of this payback model? Ignores the time value of money. So if you invested 10,000, you get back 3 years later, the money 10,000 is not the value of 10,000. Assumes the cash inflows for the investment period and not beyond. You see, so you always fix a certain year. I must get back within 3 years. If more than 3 years, then you are not going to choose. So it does not consider profitability. So you just get back 10,000 investment, just I want to get back 10,000. You don't look at how much profit more than the 10,000 amount. You're not looking at the profit. So here you can see the limitation or the weaknesses is the value is not the same. Excuse me. So you see, I'm sure in your primary or secondary school, your parents will give you money for you to go to school to buy food, right? So how much do you get during that time, your primary or secondary time? 3 ringgit, 5 ringgit?
3.
3 ringgit. So what do you think during my time?
50 cents.
Yes, you are right. It's even cheaper than that. You know, my mother gave me only 20 cents. I still remember, I only have 20 cents. And then, when during my primary, then later go secondary is about only 50 cents. So imagine, so today the amount that our kids getting now, because now you're university. So now the school children getting to go primary and secondary should be more than 3 ringgit now. I think they need at least 5 ringgit, right? So otherwise they cannot buy anything. So can see, the limitation of this payback method is no good. So the money you invested 3 years ago and then now you get back the same amount actually is less than the amount that you invested. Okay. So now the next one called the NPV model. So this uses management's minimum desired rate of return. So its company said, what is the discount rate to compute the present value of all net cash inflows? So the calculation, the outcome, if it is a positive value, positive NPV, then the project meets the minimum desired rate of return and is eligible for further consideration. Then you can consider you want to choose and implement this project. But in the end, if the calculation you get a negative value, which is negative NPV, immediately the project is rejected. So you're not going to implement this project because it's a negative NPV value. So to calculate NPV, this is the formula here. Okay. So project NPV equals to I0 plus summation T from 1 until N, then FT over 1 plus K to the power of T, where I0 is the initial investment. So because this is investment, is an outflow. So when you calculate, you have to put a negative sign in front. You must minus this value. So FT here means the net cash inflow for period T. K is the required rate of return. T is the number of years. In year 1, year 2, until how many years in 1. Okay, we look at one example here. Now, this one is an example. First, just now mentioned the payback method, comparing the two projects. So you got a project, first project A, and then project B, whether you want to accept. And you set a time of cannot be exceeding 5 years. Okay, that's the time you set for project A and B. So the investment for project A is 700,000. Project B is 400,000, and the annual saving, that means every year you get back the revenue is 225,000 for project A, 110,000 for project B. So in this case, how many years you need to get back the 700,000 investment? Then you just this one divide by this. Okay, this divide this, you get 3.1 years. And for project B, it's 400,000 divided by 110 and get 3.6 years. So you can see, and then you set the rate of return here. The rate of return is the reverse. Okay. You use 225,000 divided by this 700,000, you get 32.1 is reciprocal of this. Okay, you can see the note here. Rate of return is reciprocal of the payback. Then you this one reverse this by this, and then you get 27.5%. So you can see both that you set is as long as it is within 5 years, and then you have a 15% desired rate. Then this is more than that what you said, then both also accepted for implementation. Okay. Second one, which is using the NPV value. So this one is the Excel sheet to show you how they calculate this. So if you go and open, I uploaded a file, how to use Excel to calculate this. Okay, let me show you how to do this. Using the Excel. Let me screen. Okay, I have uploaded this Excel file. Okay, you can check this. Now you see just now the value here. So this discount rate, the value, the return rate is 15% for project A and project B for the NPV calculation. So now you can see this is year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So now I want to calculate this. I want to find out this project A. So if you're using the Excel, okay, let me show you. So this is a project A. If you use Excel to calculate, let me show you the step. So this is the actual value. I want to calculate this NPV. So first you go to here, you got these formulas. right? Can you see? Then you can see under financial, then you can look for NPV. Okay, you can see NPV here. Okay, now you come out this year, the rate, okay, the rate of investment return that you want, then this is the 15% you put here, so it's 0.15. Next, the year one value that the return you get is this. Then this is the second year value. And then next you get the third year value. And next you get the fourth year value. And next you continue with the fifth year and so on. Okay, the fifth year value is this one. So you will get what is the total here. So what's the total here? Sorry. I think I made a mistake. Let me try again. Okay, so this one I want the NPV. Okay, so NPV, so again this one is 15%. Then year one, this one, year two, this one, year three, then year four, next scroll down, year five. Okay, so now you get, okay, so this, you can see this is the amount you get. So remember the investment outflow is 700,000. Okay, so you have to put a minus sign there because it's going out. So now, what is the actual amount of the, is it negative or positive or NPV? Then it's this one, this amount minus this. So you will go to the auto sum, you sum this. Okay, so you get 54,234.90, and you can see, go back to the Excel, this PowerPoint slide, you can see it show you, it just rounded 54,235. Okay, so same thing, you do this for the project B, you do the same way. And if you're using Excel, you will get this answer for NPV, and you get this one is positive. So for project B, if you do the same way, you get a negative. So I put the red color here is a negative 31,263. You understand? Okay, let me go back to the file. Okay, so you come back, you can see this is the amount here, right? Okay, the calculation amount you get 535, and this one 31, the value here. Let me PowerPoint. Okay, so you get this 31,263. So that's the way if you're using the Excel file. So if you're not using the Excel file, then you use the manual calculation using the formula given just now. So you should come and get back to the same answer. This one here, the NPV, this one is positive, but this one is negative. So, and because that one is positive, so project A is selected, but in this case, project B is rejected. So this is one way of using financial model, how to decide which project you want to select, which project you are not going to implement. Okay, next. So what about non-financial strategic criteria, those that not using this kind of value to calculate? So you can use, go and determine by whether the project going to be implemented or not by looking at whether that project capture the larger market share, whether it can make it difficult for competitors to enter the market, whether that project develop an enabler product, which by its introduction will increase sales in more profitable products, or to develop core technology that will be used in next generation product, or the kind of project you want to implement will reduce dependency on reliable suppliers, or the project will prevent the government intervention and regulation, or the project that you're going to implement can restore the corporate image and enhance your brand recognition, because that means the product that something happened, like that one, remember that battery that produced by this telecommunication, this telco company, or that product is no good, then the battery burn, and then after that, how to get back, you have to take back all these things, and then your image destroyed, nobody want to trust your brand anymore. Then after that, this industry that's selling, manufacture the handphone one, have to quickly do something to get back the recognition, so customer will come back and buy your product again, you see, to read your reputation. So, and also it can be to demonstrate that it's commitment, the corporate citizenship, and your support for this community development. That means some kind of community projects. Let's say you got project that help the poor people, help the physically challenged, or you help the old folks home and so on. Okay, you can have that kind of project. So these one are the type of you implement according to what you want to achieve from the point of non-financial strategic criteria. Okay, next method is called multi-criteria selection models. So this one you use a checklist model. So uses a list of questions to review potential projects and to determine their acceptance or rejection. You see, you got a set of questions, you go through the question. And for answering the question, you decide whether you want to choose to implement that project or you don't, you want to reject it. So fails to answer the relative importance or value of a potential project and does not allow for comparison with other potential projects. So you're using checklist method. So maybe you selected a project, but this project is not, you don't compare with other better project. So that means you're chosen based on checking the whole list and say you accepted. But the acceptance of this project actually is, it should be another project should be accepted instead of the one based on this checklist method. Okay, so because you don't see its importance comparing to other project, because it's just based on checklist. You say, okay, all the checklists fulfilled, I just choose it. But there are other project which is more important than based on just checklist. Okay, so next you're going to study the multi-weighted scoring model. So here you use several weighted quantities or this quantity selection criteria to evaluate project proposals. So allows for comparison of projects with other potential projects. So how to do this? Okay, this one is, so these are some sample selection question based on practice. So just now that one, okay, the question you ask whether you fulfill all this, the non-financial one. So for example, strategic alignment, what specific strategy does this project align with, the kind of questions. So you can have set all this objective, what are the objective, whether, you answer this kind of set of questions, whether you fulfill this or not. You use this to answer this question here. So this is another set of questions. Okay, so like for example, technology, is the technology available or new? See, if you don't have that technology, then you cannot implement, right? Now, this is an example of the project screening matrix, the multi-weighted one. So you got many projects ongoing in the company, project 1 until project N. Here, now you write down, okay, what are the criteria you want to select, and you want to choose based on, and then the weightage, how important of each of these criteria. So for example, say with core competencies, you have to multiply by 2 times. Strategic fit into the company's strategic plan is 3 times. Urgency is 2 points, is the weightage here. So then you got different project, you got different value, and then you multiply by this, the weightage here, and then you get sum of the score here. And then from this sum of this score for each project, you can prioritize. The one with the highest score, you see, you can see project 4, project 5 is 102. Okay, this is a weighted score, and this one is scored the highest, then this will be ranked number 1. This project will be implemented first, and then followed by the second project, which one is the second highest rank. So you can see a project number N is 83, right? So the second, this one will be implemented the second. So you calculate, you see, multiply based on this weighted that kind of scoring system, and then you calculate and then rank it, prioritize according to the highest score, and then you choose the priority of the project based on this kind of calculation. So this one is very straightforward. People will know, oh, that the project carries the highest score. That means it's the most important project and you should go and implement it. Okay, so now next, applying a selection model. So now you have this project classification. So once you have done that, is deciding how well a strategic or operation project fits the organization's strategy. See, between this strategic and operation, you have to decide. So between these two, how you do the selection. So selecting a model. So applying a weighted scoring model to align projects closer with the organization's strategic goal. See, just now you have this mounted scoring system. Then based on the score, you prioritize. The highest score will go first. So if you're doing this, then you can help to reduce the number of wasteful projects because you identify which project they are the most important one with the highest score. So you don't go and waste all your resources on those projects that have the lower score. So this one will help identify proper goals for the projects. So the higher score means you're achieving the goal of the company and the goals of the project as well. Helps everyone involved understand how and why a project is selected. You see, because you tell everyone why the project selected, because of higher score. You understand? That means higher priority. So your project got lower score, then your project will be ranked in the lower, but it's not going to say rejected, but it will be implemented at a later stage. You see, that means the higher priority will be selected first. So next, the project proposals. Where are the project proposals come from? So the sources and solicitation of project proposals. So the project proposals can come from within the company themselves. The company want to implement some kind of projects, or it can be request for proposal. So its short form is called RFP. These are from external sources. That means they got contractors and vendors. So for example, let's say you want to buy something, our faculty want to renovate, this lecture room, and then they want to change all the chairs, you see. So then you have somebody have bring in the proposal, propose that how the chair should be, how it should look, and then how should be arranged, and so on, you see. So this one is a project itself, and it come from the vendor itself, and then they come up with a amount that how much it's going to implement changing of the whole lecture hall, with the replaced by new chair, new tables, and so on. Okay, so this one is come from request for proposal is from outside, not within the company. So within the company, they have their own their own company's project proposals. So next, after having all these proposals, the ranking of proposal and selection of projects. So remember, do prioritizing. Prioritizing requires discipline, accountability, responsibility, constraint, reduced flexibility, and loss of power. See, don't be influenced by people who got power, and then you use a system, let's say the multi-weighted scoring method, and then you prioritize. But then somebody got power come in, say, having lower score, but say, do my one first, don't do that one with the higher score, you see. So that become like, not accountable. So your method is like, you say you implement this, but then got somebody influential come and overrule you. So that is no good. So that's why you have to prioritize according to discipline. You follow this, you follow this. You are responsible for what you are doing. So you just ignore all that kind of power, people that come to influence other factors. You just follow your method, then everybody will be accepting it happily. And there's no argument and no wasting of the resources that you need, because you are doing the right thing, following the system. Okay. Next, there are another two more issues about managing the portfolio. We'll look at the senior management input, and also about the governance team, or called the project office responsibilities. So let's look at one example of this proposal first. So this is an example, the look of a proposal form for an automatic vehicular tracking AVL public transportation project. So this is example of the proposal, how it looks like. So you have the project proposal form, and then the date, and you see these are the content, you see, project classification, what business problem, you see, what are you trying to solve? How does this project align with our organization strategy? And then what are the major deliverables of the project? What is the impact if you don't want to implement this project? You see, these are questions, and then you have answer, you see. And also you have to analyze and measure the success rate, and then what are the risks, you see. Come on the next page, you can see. So this is an example of proposal so that people can evaluate, you see, the risk analysis. This is another example, focusing on the risk, because every project have a risk. Risk means there's a potential that can fail the project. So you analyze, this is a 500-acre the wind farm. So here they got the risk analyzed. Is it the probability of this project going to fail in certain factors, high or low, and so on, and then what kind of impact? So by looking at the risk, they also can decide whether you should go ahead implement this kind of project. Of course, high risk don't implement, that means high chances of going to fail the project. So you will choose project that is a low impact, low potential, the probability of the risk of happening, and so on. So later you are going to study about risk management. Then you understand better how to manage a risk in the project. Okay. So next, okay, we come back to look at the point about the senior management input. So what is this about? So when you are doing this portfolio system, and in the selection of this process, you require the senior management input. So this means the senior management, they will provide guidance in selecting criteria that are aligned with the organization's strategic goals. So just now, if you see, you look at the list of criteria for selection, the multiple choice, you see, and then the weighted. So what are the criteria? Who set this? They are the senior management. The manager from the senior managers, they will decide on the list of criteria, and then they list down all the criteria and what is the weightage. So they decide on this, and then decide how to balance available resources among current projects. See, once you have prioritized this, you already have, let's say, the highest score going to rank accordingly. And then the senior management also will tell you, see, what are the resources, which these resources not enough, then it should allocate to which project first. Sometimes they may, they see that, okay, they got 2-3 top projects, but maybe the second one project need the resource more urgently than the first one, although first one is score highest. So they can also, senior management, they can give the guideline, try to balance out and try to get all the 3 projects ongoing and carry on at the same time, can be implemented together. Okay. So next is the governance team responsibility. So what is this? Government teams actually is a team of people in the company that who is going to decide, prioritize the selection of the project and then announce to the company, all the managers, whose project got selected, whose project is prioritized highest ranking, whose will be lower ranking, and your rank is number 1. So this governance team, once they have done this selection using whatever method, let's say the payback or MPV, any method, or the ranking or based on the scoring method, then this team will publish the priority of every project. Because many projects in the company, they will publish it, let's say in the bulletin board, and tell all the project managers, say, you know, this is the ranking of the project, whose project will be implemented first, followed by second, third, and whose, okay, and so on. And then if you are selected, then you go and proceed with the execution of the project. So this will ensure that the project selection process is open and free of power politics. Everyone knows your project is ranked number 5, my project is ranked number 2, and then for what reason? So based on scoring system or based on paybacks, or based on MPV. See, so they know it's very open and everyone understand how is the selection process being carried out. So reassess the organization's goals and priorities. You see, even though they started implementing the projects accordingly in the proper system or based on this selection process, but as you go along halfway, you have to analyze. You know, is it this project is still achieving the company goals? Is it still of the same priorities? Is it the priority, the ranking is really changed? So you evaluate the progress. And also another point is evaluate the progress of current project. You can be implementing the project, but the project is not progressing. You are behind time and so on. So this is what you're going to study in this course here, how to manage the process and the progress of this project. And if you're behind time, what you should do. So if something happen, you know, what kind of changes? Can you accommodate the changes from the customers and so on? So it's just that now we have the COVID-19. You see, the normal way the company doing the business is no more. The normal way of carry out the execution process. So they have to change to cater for the new norm. So now a lot of things, you know, in the restaurant you have to queue up, or you cannot. Last time when you the MCO, you cannot go out and buy. You can only deliver the food. So the business have to close down. Then how do they survive? So they have to change. You see, whatever project ongoing affected by the current environment. So you have to change, go to a new project, you know, which is implement the delivery of your food to the, sent to people's house. Then because people cannot come to your restaurant to eat. So now you got another project is to implement delivery of your food to the doorstep. So instead of people come to your place, because that is the government rules and regulation, not allowed to come to your place now. So you have to implement new projects, and by looking at the environment, you have to stop the current project and implement a new project in order to survive. Okay, so that's why it's an ongoing process and looking at the priority and the changing. So now you can see this diagram explains the whole thing. Okay, the project screening process, starting from having the project proposal idea, then you have data collection and backup, and then you look at the whether you need strategic. You see all the criteria you set. Then after that, if once you selected, then you have to self-evaluation first by the criteria. If it is not fulfilling the thing, the objective, and then you abandon it, you throw away, you cannot carry out. If you pursue, then you look at the priority team, evaluate the proposal, and then whether you have to execute, and then look for the risk, and then if it is a periodic reassessment, you see from time to time, you reassess it, what is the status, you should reject it, or you accept it, and then hold reference for resources, and then align with priority, and so on. So this diagram shows what I have explained just now, okay? So the whole screening process until you start implementing the project. But at the same time, you always evaluate from time to time what happened to your surroundings that impact on your current project, whether you should carry on, you should stop it, you should revise it, and so on. So this is the priority analysis, you see. So that's why there are so many projects ongoing. So this project office, okay, this project office, they will look at, you see, they got 26, this in front of project 1, 26, 27, 28, 29, maybe got some more, you see. How you select the projects. See, this project office here, they will determine after the project manager submitted all their project. You remember you classify the project is the certain objective you must achieve, certain objectives that you want to achieve. And based on this, again, you see, you got relative importance assigning the weightage here. You see, you assign this and then you multiply by what kind of impact definition. You know, does not address this issue, opportunity to face urgent problem. You know, this kind of weightage, you multiply by this, and then you get the score again. So this is another weightage or scoring method for this project office to finalize which in the end which project will be selected, which project will go according to ranking, or which project should not be implemented, so that you can optimize all the resources that you have in the organization. Okay, and besides the method that you learn, all this payback and the classification on this method, there's another approach. It's called project portfolio matrix. So it can look at the project classification according to, you plot against the technical feasibility, that means how easy it can be implemented, against the commercial potential. That means if you implement this, what kind of revenue? You see, high revenue, you're going to get back a lot of net profit. You come in, the potential value, how high is that? So you have the type that if both low is called white elephant project. If low technical feasibility and then high commercial potential is known as oyster project. So if this one is a high technical feasibility but low commercial potential, is known as bread and butter project. And the last one, both high, is known as pearl project. So what are these four types of projects here? Now, the bread and butter projects, these are the type of project that involve evolutionary improvements to current products and services. So examples that type of project that classified under bread and butter projects are software upgrades. It's just like SPSS. You see, they have so many release. Now I think it's more than 20 over the, I don't know what version now. So during my time, I used, I think, version release 12. Now I think it's 25, 26, or maybe, I do not know. Maybe the release 30 already, okay? And manufacturing cost reduction effort, you see? So how you manufacture, the process of manufacturing, you reduce the cost of manufacturing certain product. So this kind of project like improving your current operational, okay, your business current operation. So this is known as bread and butter projects. So the type of PERS project, this represent revolutionary commercial advances using proven technical advances. So examples of PERS project are next generation integrated circuit chip, circuit chip and the subsurface imaging to locate oil and gas. You see, so if you can locate where's the location of the oil and gas, then it will bring back a lot of revenue, right? So this one will be the PERS project. So next, the oyster project. This type of project involve technological breakthroughs with high commercial payoff. So example are embryonic DNA treatments and new kinds of metal alloys. And if you hear people say white elephant project, this means bad projects, okay? So in Thailand, white elephants are something very auspicious, is an auspicious animal. But when people say a project is white elephants, that means that is a bad project, understand? So projects that at one time show promise, that means it show like as if very good, but are no longer viable. Actually, it's not feasible. You see, it's not, you cannot implement this. So examples of these white elephant projects will be products for a saturated market. You see, you produce something, so that market, people already selling that kind of product, and then you produce some more. Who is going to buy your product? Because people already bought the product itself. And then if you produce the same thing, people are not going to buy your product. That means you got no sales, right? So you are going to suffer the loss. So, or a potent energy source with toxic side effects. See, you produce some kind that it can generate the energy, but then at the same time got side effect. This energy generation will also produce something toxic, you see? So that means it's poison people. So is it a good project? It's a bad project. So if you people call it white elephant project, means that is a bad project. You understand? Okay, so next we look at some questions, see whether you know how to classify the projects. Okay, so what kind of project is this? To get the H1N1 vaccine. You know, H1N1 was one time very,
Oyster.
yes.
Oyster.
Okay. Yeah, oyster project. Okay. Second one. Okay. What kind of project is this?
Whatever.
Yes, because it's something it can swing, but then go and kill the baby. It looks like very good, but in the end, is something that bad. So this is a white elephant project. Okay. Next one. What project is this? White elephant.
Bread and butter.
Bread and butter. Yes. Okay, next project is this.
Pure project.
PERS project.
Yes. Yeah. PERS project. Okay, this one is a PERS. Well, bring in is the bridge, and then they link up. You know, the different the place. This is in China. Okay. And then after that, it bring in a lot of businesses. You know, the profit making, revenue. Okay. what project is this? The current one, the COVID-19. People, a lot of countries coming up with the vaccine for COVID-19. So what project is this? Yes,
Oyster.
yeah, Oysters projects. Okay, so now it's still clinical trial. Many companies still trying because some they produce because side effects, so they cannot release yet. You see, now it's still trying. You see, the India is one of the this this country is in this world known as pharmacy of the world. Okay, so they are now every country is working very hard to come up with the vaccine to kill this COVID-19, so that you see it becomes the Oyster project. Okay, understand? Okay, good. Okay, so now you understand how to classify the 4 types of project. Now my question is, what do you think your types of project? So your project is classified under which type? What about your types of project? Your project is what type? Is it bread and butter? Is it oyster? Is it pearls project? Or is it white elephant project? Your survey system, all the team 2, 3, 4, 5, all are survey system. What do you think? So
Bread
doing
and
C test one,
Bread and butter.
I think it's bread and butter.
Bread and butter.
Bread and butter.
yes, yeah, correct. Because it's some improvement to the current situation, right? You see, because like C-test, we want to understand what's the problem. You see, this is the teaching and learning aspect. So next, we want the analyze second, the team 3 one working on the higher order thinking skill. It's also helping your teaching and learning side. You see, your how good is your thinking. You see, how you help to improve your academic performance. And then the third one about the game. You see, so the student will know that what kind of impact you'll get if you play for long term, because there are some questions asked. Although I have not yet really given you the survey form, but roughly you know the survey is about different issues of playing game. So how will that impact on your academic performance? So again, that classified under bread and butter projects. And then the last one is about COVID-19 and relate to the critical thinking skill. This is also what is the current environment, bringing awareness, how to stop the mitigating the spreading of the COVID-19. So this is also bread and butter projects. So now you can understand how to classify your project, and you can see whether, because this is just a exercise, see a assignment for you to get your mark. So it's not classified. Although I can tell you actually they are my research projects. You understand? So I put it as an assignment for you, and then let you understand how to classify projects, and you know what kind of priority you have when you have many projects, and which priority, let's say out of these 4 projects here, which one do you think should be ranked number 1? Which one do you think is the most important one? The project on the C-test, the evaluation of the cost assessment, or is it on the higher order thinking scale, or is it on the games issue, or is it on the about how to prevent the spreading of the COVID-19 related to critical thinking skill? Which one do you think should be ranked highest among all the 4?
COVID.
Yes. Yeah. If we look at the current situation, the COVID is the most important one. So that project should be ranked number 1. So the tutorial group 5 students, you are doing a project, your project should be ranked first. Then followed by which one should be the second one?
CTES.
CTS. Any other? Any other?
It's game because it is more of public.
Sorry, which one?
I think it's game.
Game. Second one is game. Okay. Some say game, some say C-test. Any others disagree with the opinion? Which one do you think got the highest impact on the academic performance?
The
Hot gaming.
I think it's game.
Yeah, actually, many of you, and that's why the day I asked a question. Anyone don't play game at all?
Yeah.
No, right? Yeah,
No.
nobody answer say no. So, but I'm sure you have played. Sometimes some of you have played for a long time. Right? Did you experience something that if you play for a long time, let's say you feel numbness and so on? Do you have that kind of health issues that impact on the health problem, got headache, something like that? Do you have that?
No.
No,
Not really.
Not yet.
not yet. Okay.
Sometimes.
but that, sometimes you see. So that depends. I think that depends on how long you play the game. So that has some kind of impact there. So I agree with the student who suggested it's a game. So you see, the COVID one is number one, the rank number one. Then second one, it should be the game. Because game some impact on the maybe the health issues. Okay. Then the third one should be which one?
HOTS.
Yeah, the HOTS. And the last one should be the C-test, because that one will be go to the university to look at the issue that students face, when they answer, say, oh, I'm sure some of you don't like the C-test. I have to answer so many C-tests. Every course I have to answer, right? Do you like that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not like,
No.
yeah, maybe you feel that maybe it's like you just answer 1 or 2 sets assessment of the course enough, but not all. See, if you have 10 subjects or 10 courses you're taking, you have to answer 10 sets of C-test question, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm sure after you answer 1 or 2 sets, you start to feel that, oh, why I keep on answering, the same set of question, but just on the different courses. Then you start, maybe some of you will start to choosing all the average score, right? So it become like, the answer you give, they are not really the true value, the true evaluation. So that's why you see that one will be the last. And then for the kind of findings may not be so reliable. You understand? So that will go for the university to look at, what are the issues that students face in answering the C-test. So you can see now how to first classify your projects that you are doing, and then how to rank them, okay, according to the kind of impact that we're going to have. You understand now? So I think basically all of you can understand now, okay, which is good, okay, excellent, okay. So now next I go back, okay, to all the team leaders. Please take attendance. So all the team members, please just write to your leader telling them that you are present today. Okay, next, let me go to my next one here, next agenda. If anyone you want to take a break, you just go ahead, Okay, understand you have not taken your breakfast, go and eat at the same time, you can attend the lecture. Okay, next number. Okay, now I finished this lecture here. I think it covers the tutorial question. So have you checked Spectrum? There's a set of tutorial question, one already uploaded. Do you check the Spectrum?
Yes, sir.
Yes, better.
Yeah, you can see the tutorial question, right?
Yep.
Okay, now, so for each tutorial, then I let students to choose. Okay, you can see I already uploaded this tutorial booking file in the Excel file. So inside the folder, the Google Drive share folder, called WRX202 project teams. Within the project team, you can see this Excel file. So each tutorial group 2, TG2, TG3, TG4, TG5. So you click your own sheet here, okay? And then whoever's only 6 questions, right? If you look at the tutorial 1, only consists of 6 questions. Whoever want to answer, you go and book now. Okay, tell your leader, your metric number, your name, which question you want to answer. So I suggest each student whoever interested to answer tutorial question, I can tell you we only have 5 sets of tutorial questions. So we will set about 6 questions, maximum maybe up to 8 questions per tutorial set, okay? So you only have 5 sets. Let's say assuming we got 6 questions. So 6 times 5 is 30 questions only. Okay, throughout this course, you get 30 questions, tutorial question, and each set, let's say assuming is 6 questions per tutorial. So about 5 sets only. So it will be basically about 30 students will have chance to answer, right? So you just do the booking. Of course, other students, I know you participating when I giving lecture, you answer my question. So I do not know what's your name, you're from which group. So it doesn't matter. As I mentioned, you got 10 marks of participation marks. So as long as you have this metric number, I know you're participating. When you participate in all these 4 sets of survey form, then you're also participating. So I will give every one of you 10 marks, full marks. Understand? Okay. So the advantage of participating in this tutorial question is you book and then you have to present. Okay, you see discussion date, you present on this Friday. Understand? So all the questions you can answer is you can look at these lecture notes or you can search answer from internet. Many students will go and search answer from the internet. You can find the answer from the internet for those tutorial questions. And you choose the let's say you have chosen this book question number 1, then you find the answer and you present on this Friday. So let's say tutorial group 2, you present during this Friday's tutorial class, which is 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So we'll discuss tutorial first, the 6th question. Then the remaining time we'll go to discuss about project. Is that okay? So same thing with tutorial group 3. So 10 to 11, we have this tutorial group 3, and then you present this answer those students who book this, and then tutorial group 4 will be in the afternoon, 2 to 3, and then 3 to 4 for tutorial group 5. Then after we finish, we got other extra time, got remaining time, then we'll discuss our project. Okay, any more question about this booking? You know the advantage that if you present is to, I will guide you the way you present, because later you're going to have one presentation which will carry about 20 marks, right? That's a lot of marks. So this presentation is just is your participation in class marks, and that this participation I will guide you if you present are your weaknesses, how you should improve your presentation skill. So when you come to your actual project presentation, when you're doing only once, then you can present it very well. I'll tell you what's wrong. Let's say your pronunciation. So when you present, I would like to see your face. Understand? Is that okay? Okay, now any question about this tutorial? Anyone got question about this tutorial booking? So you tell your name to your leader, and then leader will do the booking, okay? It's the file inside WRX202 project teams. Inside there, you can find this Excel file. I'll put there is tutorial 1 booking, okay? Understand? Okay, is that settled now? For this tutorial thing? Yes. Yeah?
When you speak first.
I think we have the same question. You ask one?
Okay. Doctor, about presentation, is it we gonna do any slide or we just present our point?
I suggest you prepare your answer in the PowerPoint slide, because that train you how to design PowerPoint slide.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
So let me point out your mistake. Your first mistake, just now you say is presentation, right? The pronunciation should be presentation.
Okay.
Okay, so you learn, you see. So now you try to correct all your mistakes so that when you actually present that time, you will get the full marks. Maybe you won't get full mark, but as high as you can. Out of 20, maybe you can get 18 or 19 marks. You understand? Okay. Any other questions?
Doctor, I want to ask about the presentation. So it's like this time we only had to present for 6 questions, right?
Yeah, one student, 1 question only.
Or because the tutorial got like around 9 questions, if I'm not wrong. So we just need to pick from 1 to 6, right?
6. I saw it's 6 only. What?
Oh, yes, okay. Yeah.
Is it 9 or 6?
It's 6 questions.
Yeah,
Yeah, look lonely, right?
6.
Okay.
It's 9.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
It's the last year one. We reduced this year because of this online. We afraid may take a bit longer.
Doctor, I have a question regarding the booking form. It's in the email that you sent to all the leaders. Like
I sent in. I sent an email. I thought I put in the Google Drive. I sent an email.
It's in the Google Drive. It's in the email for all the leaders.
Email for all the leaders, but also in the Google Drive, I think. Yeah.
Doctor, is there like a maximum number for each of the tutorial groups? Like, for example, there are 3 persons in my tutorial groups that wants to answer during the tutorial classes. Is that okay, or do we need to distribute 1 for each tutorial group? There'll be much.
Yeah.
I think
1 student answer 1 question only and once only.
Oh, so I mean like for each of the tutorial groups.
Yeah, that's why each tutorial group. I know you got more 6 students. So only 6 students.
How about the grouping? Like for example, I'm TG2 group 4. So and I have 3 members who wants to answer. Is that okay? Or we need to like distribute one question for 1 tutorial group?
Yeah, I think better have one question for 1 tutorial group. Then we can see, each team got representative.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And then so we learn from each other. Maybe this team will make some kind of mistake that the other team never realized, and then by this team, and then when you present other because you'll be in the same group, all attending at the same time, you can hear what the person is presenting, how is his presentation or her presentation, and we can see what kind of weaknesses I'll point out after you finish presenting. I'll tell you. Okay, then we learn from each
Doctor,
other.
I have one question.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so in the tutorial question, so for example, question 1, the answer has to be in a PowerPoint slide, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you show PowerPoint and then show your face and then you present, okay?
Okay.
Okay, any other question? So all the team leader, maybe you get the booking and then you discuss all the team leaders among yourself. Which question, maybe you tutorial team 1, you take question 1. Team 2, you take question 2. Then it's easier for you, right?
Wait, Doctor, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
First, you said that there are 6 questions, right? But I checked back on the tutorial. It has 9 questions.
Which one you download? I think you downloaded the wrong one.
The first is
the latest
what
one
are the 5
already changed
characters?
to 2020 already.
Yeah,
Legal chat spectrum. They changed
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, you must look at
Wait,
the one
Was it
session.
a last minute change?
No, because we update every year. This one is come from Dr. Hairo. I didn't set it. Because we have I told you that we got 2 lecturers teaching this course, right? So we decided we also share the workload. So Dr. Hairo will set tutorial 1 and tutorial 2. I will set the last 2, tutorial 4 and 5. So the center one, which is tutorial 3, we are sharing. So we decided that he set 3 questions, I set 3 questions for tutorial 3. You understand now? So that means we all have 50% share in sharing this workload of preparing tutorial questions. Is that clear now?
Yeah, okay, clear. Okay, for the second question, so 6 of us needs to present, right, from one tutorial group.
No. Because if 6, then 6 times 6, that means we have 36 students presenting, right?
Yes, but so in the form, in the Google Sheets, it's stated that you have like TG1 to TG. In conclusion, a lot of tutorial groups. There are 6 slots.
Yeah, that was my original plan. So now I changed my mind because I think maybe not enough time. Okay, so I think will be 1 team, 1 member to present. Is that okay? So that means all team member will discuss. Now I'll change that. Instead of I know that they got 6. So who is going to present? Let's say the first one now. So you decide there are 6 students they are going to choose. Then just now I suggested that this tutorial group 2 answer question 1. Then group 3 is second question and so on, right? So now I got 4 groups, right? There were 2 more questions come from any of the group. So you just discuss among the team member who wants to take it. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, I made a mistake. Within the group itself, we got 6 teams.
Yes.
So each team get 1 student.
Yeah, but how do we know which tutorial group is doing which question? Because like let's say when we refer to the sheet now, I think TG2 already has like 4 people booking it, and they book question 2, 4, 5, 6, and TG3 none, TG4 question 5, TG5 none. So how do we know who's taking which question? Because we are going to prepare the presentation slide, right?
Yeah. Now I give the suggestion. I'm saying that okay, within the TG2 you got 6 teams, right? First team answer question 1. Second question team 2. Team 3 question 3. Is that okay? Now is that clear? So the one already booked, you look at it, is it you're supposed to book the slot or not? Do you understand now? TG2 you got 16, right? Now this tutorial 1 got 6 questions. So 1 team answer 1 question. Is that okay? Do you understand?
Okay. One team answering 1 question is
yes.
So we're just following the.
Yes. Team 1 question 1, team 2 question 2. Is that easier for you to sort out the problem?
Yes.
Yeah. So that become no problem for TG2, TG3, TG4. TG5 I think got only 3 teams, right? TG5? You only have 3 teams currently, right? So TG5 we can have 1 team answer 2 questions. So team 1 answer question 1 and 2. Team 2 will be 3, 4, and then team 3 will be 5 and 6. Is that okay?
So doctor, I want to ask more about it detailing. So it means like if I'm from tutorial group 4 and I'm on team 4, I'm going to answer question 4.
Yes.
Is that what I get?
Yes.
Also, we no need to book for the question anymore.
No need. So, no need to argue because just now that's why will be you have to talk to each team leader. You know which question you are taking. That's what the question just now one of the leaders asking.
Okay, then so that we only assign one of our members to present the day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Okay. Any more questions? Any other questions? So it's clear about tutorial. Okay. Okay, let me go to the project. Okay. Let me swap the screen first. Give me a minute. Okay, I received some question regarding the project because I remember one email, a lot of question. Can the person who sent me the email just tell me what the questions you want me to answer here?
Okay, doctor. Regarding the project, right? Can we have can doctors suggest what kind of role can we give to our members, like data analysts, etc.? Any suggestion?
Yeah. First thing definitely is the project leader. I think probably you're the project leader, right?
Okay.
Okay. Next, you see, this question, all the questions are they are about survey, right? Okay. So you define that the last week tutorial. You already define which are the faculties or who are the respondents targeted that you're going to get the data from, right?
Yes.
Okay. So next, of course, each one, if you want to distribute workload equally, let's say you got 10 members, so or got 12 members, so each one will be assigned 10 respondents to in charge to collect the data from 10 respondents if you do it equally. So each one will be in charge of data collection. You understand? Yes. But if let's say out of 12 members, only 6 in charge. So the 6 students will be assigned data collection. You understand or not?
Understand.
Then the other 6, let's say they are not doing data collection, they were doing data analysis using SPSS. Okay?
Sure.
So you see, so you look at the project, the nature of the project. So the nature of project, because the survey form already designed for you. So what you need to do, I think especially tutorial group 5, you need to survey that day I told you have to start surveying out what are the existing survey tool you can use to design this set of survey form, right? So you have to assign somebody to investigate, start doing the survey about existing survey tools that you can use to design this survey form. Is it a Google form? Is it Monkey survey form? And then somebody, I think one leader from the tutorial group 3 have been helping me on the HOTS one. I asked her to find out what are the two, because that set of question got timing. So we found out that can be used, but it's a bit tedious. So now there's a good news. The good news is if you can wait, give a bit more time, because actually I assign all this project to my final year software engineering students to develop a web-based system for this survey, carry out all this survey. So, but their system, they are not ready yet, except for the tutorial group 3. That's why I'm on hold. Because if my student already set up the web-based system, you don't have to go and survey the tools and then go and design using this tool, this survey form, and then start collecting the data. So you can use the system, the web-based system that my student developed, and use it for data collection immediately once it's go live. You understand? So you give me a bit of time, I check with my students. The HOTS one is quite sure you can use, because we already survey one of the team leaders work with me, found out that the existing survey tools cannot really cater for our needs, because two of the questions got timing. We set the time that the student must answer within 2 minutes. So that kind of survey tool, existing one, very few have this kind of features. So that means we cannot use the existing survey tool to design this set of survey form for you to start collecting data. So my student already developed the web-based system. You make use of that system. So tutorial group 3, I think you don't have to go and use a survey tool. you just wait for my student to get ready, go live testing. If everything error-free, I will tell you where's the link, and you can start using, go and collect, get the respondent to answer and use that web-based system to answer. And once you have answered, the data will be captured in her system's database, and I will ask her to retrieve that data file, and then I give it to you. And then you need to assign student to do data analysis. The tutorial group 5, that one, I don't have a student working on that project. So you have to find out what are the existing survey tools, for example, Google Form or Monkey Survey Form, that can be used to design the set of survey form that I sent to you, I think this morning, okay? TG5, do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so you have to assign role to a few team members to survey what are the existing survey tool is most suitable for you to can be used to develop this survey form for your data collection. You understand? So other teams, if you can wait a bit longer, if you think you cannot wait, you want to proceed, or you can also use that as a chance to learn how to learn to use a survey tool to design your own this survey form. You can do that also. If you want to wait for my students to, the HOS one is almost ready. I think you can use it early of November. But the other two, the C-test one and the game one, you have to give a bit more time. The student a bit slow. So I think they mentioned to me sometime mid-November. So if you think you want to wait, then you have to wait. But if you think this is called a risk, you see, what happens if by the mid of November, they're still not ready? So you don't have a system to use, right? So how to overcome this risk? So you can have some members go and start designing. In case it's not ready, you use your own survey design tool. You understand? So this is called risk management. You see, you start learning already. Okay. So just now that student, you continue with your next question. So this is how you assign the role.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
What's the next question? I think you got a lot of questions.
The C-test, right? I think year 1 student haven't ever like this like they haven't tried the C-test question yet. So year 1 student would not be able to answer our question, right? For group 2. Okay, got it. So it will be year 2, year 3, and year 4.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because we want to collect data about GPA and CGPA, and they don't have this value, so they cannot give. Okay. So what else?
Can we have a sample report from the previous seniors?
All my reports, all the soft copy in the office. We cannot go back.
Okay, got it. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
So you wait until I can go back, then I can send you some sample, okay?
Okay. How about the meeting? Do we need to record it down, or we just do a minute for it?
Yes, because you'll be having online meeting. It's just like now we have online lectures, right? So you record the online because definitely you have to discuss with all your team members and what they should do, how you guide them, who is assigned what kind of task, and then when is the starting, when is the ending, when you should distribute, the job done and so on. You return the job done to you, and you check the progress. So every time you got the online meeting, somebody you have to assign. You see, there's a job called secretary, okay? So the secretary will record. You assign a role to the team member. Okay, you in charge of recording the meeting minutes. Okay, you just this is part of the job. Not say the only job. Okay, and then this person will record. Okay, when is of course this secretary will inform. Okay, also your leader say okay when on which day, what time, and then we have an online project meeting. So this is project meeting number 1, and then everybody should log in during that time, and then you set up MS Team or whatever, Google Meet or any software or Zoom that you use. You inform everybody. Secretary go and inform it's the leader inform the secretary. Secretary inform everybody, and then when it's online, secretary will start recording, and the project leader, of course, you start like what I'm doing now is start with greeting everybody, and then you thank for their presence to this meeting, and then you start sharing. Of course, before that, secretary will send out the agenda for the meeting. So let's say the first agenda is assign roles to each team member. Number 2, assign the task or something like that. Number 3 is about investigate or analyze what are the existing survey tools that can be used, and who is going to investigate on these features, something like that. So the secretary will send out the agenda. So by the time you have the meeting on, the project leader know first item is what, second item. It's just like I'm giving lecture. So my first thing is I want to tell you the important dates of the 2 tests. Next, I want to give lecture. Then third, I want to explain to you, the how to calculate MPV using Excel file. You see? So you can see I list out the sequence in my file that I want to show to you one by one. So that is I'm guided the agenda that I want to present for my lecture today. You understand? So you do the same for your meetings. So after that,
Alright.
what time you start meeting, what time you end meeting, and then that's your first project meeting. Who are the members present? Who are the members absent? You see, you have to record all this. Then you will know. So towards the end, we got one topic which is a team evaluation. That means you evaluate the team as well as the team members. So who is not performing? The one who always absent from the meetings are those members who always absent and then never carry out the task because you're not there and do not know what to do. Unless you absent for certain justification with good reasons, but the person also complete the task and that the person is completing. So later we are going to assess each team member whether your team member is cooperative or not, whether the person is share the ideas or not. You see, we are going to evaluate this. You see, this is all part of the project management. You understand? Okay now?
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Okay, any more questions?
Yeah, Doctor. Since this is a project, right? In the project, we have the deliverables, and like let's say if we're using like Scrum, we have sprints, right, for each deliverable. So do we need to document that as well in the form of like Gantt chart or stuff like that?
Yes. We were coming to that later because that's why if you look at the project report outlines, the chapter 1 got deliverables. If you refer to my report outlines, there's one topic called deliverables, right?
Yeah, and we need to do an org chart, right?
Yes, the main one is Gantt chart later. You can present anything you like as long as you put under the heading which is appropriate heading. Let's say deliverables, how you present the deliverables. Let's say the topic is a project team. How you going to present how you present your project team? It should be a table. It shows that who are the team members, how their roles, responsibility, and then how to contact them. That's it. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's why I'll guide you throughout this whole project.
我是读电脑科学信息系统系2，我是来自槟城。
What is this? There's a Chinese. Who is the one speaking?
I think misunderstood. Or something. Never mind.
Okay, never mind. Any other question? Or any team member?
Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor, as you had mentioned, for the tutorial group 3, since you have your final year students developing on that system, I want to know, let's say that there's also a risk of that particular system will not be completely reliable since we have quite a lot of people are going to use that particular system. So in regards to that, I think it's justifiable that we look for alternative platforms for our survey. So is it possible that you could release the criteria of the survey for our particular subject for HOTS, for TG3 is for HOTS, right? So what is the question so that we can look for alternatives for the survey platforms?
Yeah, sure. But actually, I want all the team members in TG3, all of you in this TG3, to answer the question first before you go and work on this project. You understand? So maybe this Friday, can I give all of you the test? You take the test first. Then after that, you use that test and go and do the survey design and then go and collect data from other students. Is that okay? Students for all TG3.
Yes, yes, that would be acceptable. Also, as I had mentioned, so the system will be ready by early November, right?
Yes, because she has to set up the server and then testing it, go live first, whether it's capture the data correctly. She's now working on the setting up the server now.
So that means the earliest that we can try that system out and the survey platforms for maybe training purposes and getting used to that system will be early November. Is that right?
Yeah. I think the first week, or I think probably the latest by second week, if nothing wrong with the setting up of the server. So in your case, you are end user. You don't really need training. It's very easy. I have a look at her system. It's quite straightforward. Of course, if you need training, she can give a training and tell you what to do. That's why I say you people of you go and answer the survey form first. I want you to do it on the manually. You just write on the paper. I will give you a question. Then you take a piece of paper. I set You follow the time that I tell you, and then you just answer on the paper first. This is for your own record, because after that you will know what kind of question already. So it become like not reliable. It's not valid, because if you really look at the question, then they will start answering. You already got more time. You already know what kind of question asking. So that's why I want to be, let's say your answer also can be used as part of the data analysis. Then you answer first. Is that okay? Then after that, when her system is ready, you just key in your answer, that you already answer on the sheet of paper, just enter into her system within the time limit.
Okay. Yes, I get that.
You get that, okay? Any more questions from anyone, any teams?
Yes, Doctor, I have questions.
Yeah.
This is from TG2. I want to ask for the implementation of C-test. Is the reference for chapter 2, is the reference only limited to article and journal? Can we refer website and so on?
Oh, can. Any resources, as long as you quote the references where the source from.
Okay, thank you. The next question is this C-test only limited for UM? Because I searched online, I found UTM also apply this. Their system also called C-test.
Yes. So that one is under literature review. So the data collection, you're only focusing students from UM. You want to collect data from UKM? I don't think so, right?
I don't know, because reference, I don't know. That's only for UM. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
The data collection, when you conduct the C-test, those who answer the survey form, C-test survey form, will be students from UM only. But you can collect information about UKM. They have this C-test. If you can get UTM C-test of question, because UM has a set of C-test question, right? They got 3 components, right? About teaching, the lecturers teaching, the environment, and then the facility. What else? The 3 things, right? What is the other one? The course content, right, is how you remember, one is about the course, one is about the lecturer, one is about the environment, the infrastructure, right? So that is the content of C-test of our UM student when they answer the actual C-test question. My one is the attitude of student answering C-test. You understand the difference? Okay, you understand the difference? My question is different from the C-test question. I think you received the question, right? Okay. My one is to investigate when they answer C-test, what kind of attitudes of the UM student. So the respondents are UM student, not UKM student. But in your literature review chapter 2, you can review the C-test question asked in the C-test of the UKM set. You understand? Then you compare with UM1. You see the chapter 2 I show on the screen. The chapter 2 got 2.3 components of C-test. So you can compare the UM component in C-test consists of the lecturers teaching, the course structure itself, and then the infrastructure. Then UKM is comparing what? I do not know. So if you have a set of UKM, you can make comparison that, you see, the local university, they got different type of assessment. You can talk like that. You understand?
Yes, agree. My next question is, do we have sample questionnaire for C-test? Not your questionnaire given for students to investigate their attribute to the C-test, but the actual real sample C-test questionnaire. Do we have that?
Yes, I have. I can give you later. You send me an email, and then let me check my system, and then I send the blank copy to you.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. That's all for my question.
If you can find from other overseas, the overseas university also they conduct C-test. So the component, the things that they ask in the C-test question, they vary. So you can download. You make comparison of local university and the overseas university, and then you can make comparison and then put your explanation in 2.3 component of C-test. You see how it varies from the local university with the overseas, or within the local university and then within the overseas. You see, then you get a lot of facts to present. You understand?
Agree.
Yep. Okay. Well done, because when you present, you got a lot of facts and we can understand a lot of things and sharing of information among all of us. Okay. Any more questions? Any more?
Hi, Doctor. I'm from TG3. I would like to ask for the HOTS question. For the scope, can we include those secondary school questions and primary school questions, like those general changes?
Because our focus is university students. So the question is set in my survey form, in my this HOTS assessment form. So you cannot change.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Doctor, regarding the slide just now, right, the lecture 2, can Doctor update the latest slide? Because I think the slide is an old version in Spectrum.
Actually,
you can see some of the questions I don't put inside because it is taking me a lot of time to put in all these questions. You see, I have to search a lot. And actually, I've been teaching this course, I think I can tell you maybe about 20 years. So I update from time to time. Like now, COVID-19, so I have to go and search on internet, put in example related to COVID-19 and put as question to ask in class. So that's why I don't give, my set is different from the set I give in Spectrum. The Spectrum one is all the theory you need to know. And my one got come up with extra question I asked. That one is additional that I prepare for me to ask students in class. So I don't give that one. Okay, you understand?
All right, sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Because if I give you give to the junior, they will every year they'll get the question. I cannot ask the question anymore. Every year change is very tedious for me. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, understand. Okay, any more? You can capture the screen when I ask you see when you come out question, that one definitely is not in the slide, in your PowerPoint. Then you can use the screen capture if you want to, okay? Yeah, any more? No, Okay, no, and then I will end today's session. And then this Friday, those who book the tutorial question, please prepare your answer, and then you will present. So after we finish, then I will, because it's already running out of time, so I will proceed with a project explanation about how to prepare the project report. Is that okay? We'll start with a tutorial discussion first on Friday, right?
Okay.
So if no other, so I'll see you on Friday. Is that okay? Thank you. Okay, I'll see you on Friday.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you,
Doctor.
Welcome. Okay,
Thank
welcome.
you, Doctor.
And any question?
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
To me, and then I will answer if not. If
Thank you, Doctor.
a long
sir.
question, I'll try to answer it. Okay. Okay, so I'll see you on Friday. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.